May 7th, and I'm back to harrowing. So we got the 86 still going today. Tomorrow's Monday, so either I'll have my tractor back tomorrow, or I'll at least be able to pull it with the 200. My dad at least wanted it today still to finish up his stuff. So we're still going at it. I had quit last night. This is just my first time up and down today, but yeah, the camera's picking up the color difference, but it got too dark. I couldn't see where I was going, and I only had one backlight because we never put the light bar back on. We ran out of time, and the alternator ain't charging, so it wouldn't have mattered really anyways right now. But we may not be high-speed tilling, but we are tilling. So this field was snapwich last year. Oh, the harrow's sinking a little bit. It's pretty sandy ground, and they sink right out of sight in this stuff. But this was snapwich last year, so there's a lot of corn stalk residue you can see. Well, we're coming up to the end here. Working in that potash that I spread last night. You can see one track right there. That's all that's left on this field. Christoph is working on the planter right now. Something broke last night on him. He got around 90 acres in yesterday still, and that was starting in the afternoon, so not complaining too much for the first day. Figured something was gonna break. I am running with the back window shut right now just to keep some dust out, and it's not too hot yet, so just the door open is enough fresh air to not sweat my ass off in here. Working up nice. A little bit too much corn stalk, but we never did get to spreading manure on this field, so we never got the corn stalks tilled once before chisel plowing, so that's why it's a little bit more than normal. But it'll work out fine in the end. Well, my tractor shut off right now, and we're below the field, right above those hills, trees right there is the field I was in. I came below it, and this year we're switching a lot of grass over to corn, and this is just one of the sections that we're doing. And I just blew a hydraulic steer hose, my bad. So yes. There may be no electrical, but clearly hydraulic hoses. I mean, she was pretty shot, so should be a quick fix. One hose and we'll be back up and running. It barely even lost any oil. But Marcus is gonna keep switching over this grass right here. I do it with the big set. I do 2 passes over it with this with the wings up because it's really heavy. It cuts in the sod really good. Goes about that deep, really flips or not flips it, but really cuts it up, and then after a couple passes it really grinds it in.
What I just realized, when I'm going down your rows, when you're folded up, I'm about half your size.
Yep. Well, no, when I'm folded up you're almost the same.
Yeah, which I am. Once you have this on, I'm probably at least
You're 10 feet smaller.
Yeah, that much.
All right, Marcus, keep going. This tractor's down for now. We'll get a hose fixed up and we'll keep going. He's gonna keep rolling out. The sod, it's a lot more packed and dense, so the harrows aren't sinking in like they do on the sandy stuff. It's sand underneath, but because the grass is so thick, it's really holding the implement up. But after enough passes, it'll get worked in good enough to plant. And then whatever grass would come back, even with it worked, is gonna get sprayed with the rest of the cornfield. It'll kill it off. Ferdy's coming right now. We'll get this line changed and keep rolling. I missed it, but Furry's out here. It's just, oh yeah, I didn't miss it. I missed most of it, but I got a little bit. Alrighty. We got the hose off, and Furry called Napa because it is 1 o'clock and they close on 1 at Sunday. But Eli is the man, and he's gonna hook us up. So Marcus was running this set earlier today, but he said one of the discs weren't spinning.
That side.
So he switched over to running the MX, which is the smaller set, but.
Well, at least I had something.
So, what was going on here? You said this one wasn't spinning?
Yeah, it wouldn't spin at all. Should I lift it up?
Yeah, lift it up. Were you maybe just sinking it so far that the sand was plugging it? Maybe. Because there's no stones. Normally the only time it doesn't spin is if there's a stone. Oh boy. She's seized. I'm gonna say there's a blown bearing. And the blown bearing.
Wait, blown bearing?
That bearing's blown. That sucks. Uncle's gotta rip half the harrow apart to change the bearing.
Oh my.
Okay. Alright, we got half of it done. Well, not even half of it, we're not there yet. But
this one's definitely tight.
that bearing right there is definitely bad because it should have fell over. That's our problem. The good thing is we only have to tear it apart to here.
That's all we will do.
Oh man, I truly, this is the part of harrows that I truly hate. But, you know, it's not like the new sets that have the shafts that are almost 2 inches. Those suckers are a lot stronger. They don't bend as easy. They have recoil springs. These have the little inch and a quarter square stock shaft. That stuff bends when you hit a stone. But it is what it is. We fixed this one right under here because dragging this long sucker out, it's like 8 feet. Yeah. And they suck, they're heavy. We did it pretty quick because we only had to go to the middle. Yeah. So we got that bearing changed out. She spins freely. We learned to double nut everything. No lock.
I guess if there's a locking pin.
Yeah,
but the double nutting's better.
We used to have like those tabs you bend over. Complete garbage, waste of damn money and time. They always loosen up, so we made it so everything can get a double nut. Even if it's only half the nut on there, it's double nutted. It ain't opening anymore. We had a lot less problems starting to do that. So we're gonna flick it back under there. I'm gonna turn the camera off because it truly sucks.
Yeah, it's gonna be just like that. But
by the time the camera turns back on, it'll be done.
It'll be slick.
Well, we're ready to rock and roll. I also went through and greased it. Because why not? It's here. We needed it. We're gonna get going now. I'm gonna go hop back in the 1086 because that has the big harrow on it. And then Pete is actually gonna hop in this thing. Marcus is bringing me to my tractor. Freddie fixed the hose, but I left the John Deere at the front. This looks really nice now. Marcus has been going at it. I told him, when you think it's done, just keep going. Right? But whatever is left will get killed off with being sprayed and it'll grow nice. She's ready to rock and roll. I had my little chauffeur drop me off. See, back in the day we had 2 of these. One was in a big shed fire. It burnt the other 1086. And I was running that harrow. And I was Marcus's age. And I stopped to do something and I thought I was all king shit on Turd Island, and I took off with the implement down and my foot popped off the clutch. The front end popped up and she dropped right back down and I snapped the shaft. Yeah, that was not the best damn that I've done, but it happened. But that's why you always just lift it up before taking off, and you also don't pop the clutch. Right on the road, you can see Bradley Sampier. He's going by with I think he's putting potash down with that. They took their sprayer booms on, put their solid fertilizer bin on, and he's going at it with that. Birdie just came, and we're gonna slap some grease in this thing. I just greased that, but we'll put some more grease on this. She's already harrowed 100 acres. I want to say it's harrowed. About that. No, it's close. It's close. It'll definitely be that once this field's done, because it didn't do all in Enosburg because we had the grubbers down there. So I don't think it's actually harrowed that much yet, but we'll put some grease in it. It'll be good for it. I just noticed this on the dually. That's been in there the whole time. So, I mean, I don't think that was going anywhere. That sucker was wedged. That's funny. Well, we're across the road from where we were, and this is actually a grass field. Well, it was a grass field, and we're converting it. So the first pass I'm doing with this, with the thing folded up to cut into the sod, and then Marcus is kind of following where I've already been, and that's how we're going. We got Pete, he just came. And honestly, those two harrows aren't doing too much just because they're not very heavy. But after enough passes, it'll get the big clumps sliced through. And once the big stuff is finally cut, it actually starts working up really nice. It just takes patience and a lot of time to do it. These aren't the right tools to do it, but it's what we got, and it's what we're gonna do. Chisel plows are over in the big cornfield right across the river, and they're going at it already, getting that field ready. While we hop back across the road, Freddie put potash down in the field, and all three of us actually did because Christoph is planting the field, this field first. The one I was doing earlier today and last night, he has to plant after this one just because of the corn seed he has in the planter. It's gonna be the same as that other field he was just in. So instead of draining the hoppers out, all 12 of them, he's just gonna plant this field first. Just means we're not ahead of him for this field, but he has the other field ready after. So the three of us are in it. Normally we like to only use this as the final pass or that grubber because it does the best job. Well, I'm in the next grass field that's getting switched. To my right, you can see a little bit's already been done. Christoph did it when we were spreading manure back here. And I'm gonna be honest, this ain't no river bottom. So it's a lot wetter. I don't know if I'll even be able to do another pass after one. Because I tried doing that stuff on the first pass to just cut it again. And I was already on the phone with Bertie to come pull me out. And we slapped the old TA up and we let her eat. I didn't record it because I was really damn mad. But we got out. Maybe I can show you my ruts. See, the first pass looks very useless, but after about 5 times going over it, it starts to transform into more loose soil, and all it is time to get it work. The old ricing canes are just chewing. They get into a little bit of soft spot and they're eating. I'll show you my rut up there. So right here, where I pulled in, I figured I'd start on the road and just work my way down. The tractor had other ideas. I got about 50 feet, and then we spun out there, and then I started working downhill to give myself an ability to get out. Once I hit the grass, we were good, but it took a little while. I did the one pass here, and in the other fields that we're working, normally I do 2, 3 more, but it's just so soft, it's different soil, that if I had any other tractor, I would be able to go, but this old girl right here, she ain't liking it. So Marcus has the little MX, he has at least 4-wheel drive, and he has plenty of work for the rest of the day to go putter around and mess around with that. I did the whole thing once, so he just gotta stay in the box and go at it. But I'm gonna go home. I gotta go blow this out. He's a little bit more sensitive than the other tractors. I'll fuel it up, and then I gotta head to the next field. Well, the big cornfield right there. I missed it, but Gerhard, I think it's Gerhard, it might be Alex. They're chisel plowing alone. The field's about a little over half done. I think they're about 2/3 done, I'd say. And I guess in the previous video I showed how sloppy the steering is. And honestly, when you're driving at full speed, it's not bad. You kind of, the wheels pull to the side and then you kind of just hold the wheel. It's when you're going slow, like with the manure pump up and down the road, you have to chase it a lot more, but at full speed, it ain't bad at all. You can see my snail trail of black smoke. The engine, we actually had to turn this one down, so that was new for us, but she's definitely not stock. Well, we're on the road again. Got her blown out, got fuel, we'll be good. He's making progress on that field, but we're not going to the big field, we're going to a different field, but we're rolling. We're at the next field. This one has a little bit of a hill right over there. And honestly, I haven't really had to pull a hill with this thing yet. We're gonna see how this works. I'm not too worried. It is really nice and dry. Well, I'm on the second time around. It pulled the hill better than I thought. The camera never picks it up, but you know the area, you know it's there. I've done this top section from that road up. I've gone following the road, so I'm going a little again. They went with the chisels right here following the curve, and I'm just cutting it in a nice straight line, and we're pulling up this hill right here. Sometimes she pulls it a little sideways, but we climb the hill by the end. I don't know if Ferdy's gonna still come up here today with the potash, because I'm not done the other half anyways. But this will be the next stuff to get planted after.